I'm dying. My entire body is rotting away and I am smelling terribly because of my BBL. My buttocks and my private parts are literally rotting away and it smells terribly. My life is gradually coming to an end before my very eyes. Yet there is nothing that I can do about it now. I have regretted doing a BBL, but it's too late to do something about my situation. I'm currently going through a lot, and I'm fighting a silent battle that not even my family members are aware of. And my fear is that this might take my life away. But before that happens, I want to share my life and my story with the world. While growing up, I was really bullied. Most of the bullying came from my schoolmates and even very close family members. And the bullying that came from very close family members was the one that hurt me most. I have always been a very slim girl or a very small person in size, and God has blessed me with a very pretty face, which I am really grateful for. But there is a problem. When I got to my teenage years and started developing breasts, my breast suddenly became so big, and that had made my front part of my body heavier than my backside. So anytime that I wore a straight-fitting dress, my family members would tease me with all kinds of names, telling me how unproportional my body looked. And those words made me so uncomfortable and so insecure about my body, and I was always sad. Many times, I would cry so much and I would tell them to stop. But the teasing and the name calling never stopped. So, on many occasions, I would hide in the toilet and cry so much. Then, as if that was not enough, anytime that I went to school, my schoolmates would also continue with the teasing and the bullying. It got to a point in my life that I pretended that I was no longer bothered with the teasing and the name calling, but deep down, I was dying inside. Then when I went to senior high school, I was in the boarding house where my female mates saw my naked body during shower time, and the teasing at this level became even worse. The teasing and the bullying at this level was so bad that many times I had to pretend to be sick so that I could run away from school to the house on many occasions just to feel a bit happy. Then when I finally got to the university, I resorted to wearing a lot of hip pad and buttons pad just to hide my body. And this helped me to go through university days without much teasing and bullying from my classmates. Then one day, I was on YouTube watching random YouTube videos and a video popped up. And that video changed my life forever. I saw this beautiful lady who indeed looked so pretty. She was so curvy and she looked really attractive and looked so confident in all her videos. So I went to her page, and it was when I got to her personal page that I chanced upon one of her videos explaining that she had done her body at Turkey and that had changed her confidence, and went on to say that because of her beautiful body, there were men always in her DM literally asking her out because of how beautiful her shape is. She also explained in that video that she got the opportunity to run advertisements for so many companies, both locally and internationally, because of her amazing body, and that had given her financial freedom. The truth was that immediately I told myself that I would certainly do BBL as soon as possible. So I went ahead to watch so many other ladies who had done their bodies and that had improved their confidence. But the truth most of these ladies do not include in their video was the horrible side of BBL. For example, the painful and the most uncomfortable healing process and the journey they went through in order to get that bunky bodies that they are showing to the world. But here is my problem. Yes, I wanted to enhance my buttocks and to get that bunky BBL body. But I did not have the money to do it. Then when I was done with the university and I started working, my only goal was to save all my salary in order to do my buttocks. A whole year went by and the money that I saved for my BBL was certainly not enough. Then bam! One day, while I was on the internet watching more of these BBLs girls and their success stories and where they got their perfect bodies from, I chanced upon this young lady who did a whole documentary telling the world where she got her BBL done and how much it cost her. Surprisingly, I realized that the money that she mentioned in that video was relatively lower than all the videos that I watched so far. And that should have told my poor soul that it could be a red flag, but no. I was too desperate to have my body done that I didn't care whether the doctor is good or not. I told myself that that lady's body was perfect and I wanted exactly that body so that I could be confident in my body too, just like hers. Then finally, after 3 long years of saving my salary and money I got from selling wigs, I flew to Turkey and I was picked at the airport by one of the staff of the hospital where I will finally have my BBL done. I was lodged into an apartment and just 2 days later, the surgery was done. Jesus, when the anesthesia finally disappeared from my body, the pain that I felt was so terrible that I cannot even describe it with words. The pain was so excruciating. In fact, I do not have enough words to describe that pain. Then I was told on what to do and not what to do during my healing journey. Then a few days later, I returned to my home country and for a whole month, I was in my apartment all alone trying to nurse myself back to health. The process of healing was very painful. I felt so lonely since I didn't tell any family member that I was going to have surgery. I depended on online food vendors since I couldn't stand up to cook or to do anything. I was always lying on my stomach and it was so uncomfortable. Then 3 months later, I started seeing my curvy body gradually taking shape and I was really happy to see that transformation. 8 long months later, I could confidently go out, so I started flaunting my curvy, beautiful body on my social media platforms. And the kinds of flirtatious comments that I received from men from every part of the world was absolutely overwhelming. At this point in my life, it was as if men were waiting for me to flaunt my bunky body online so that they could give me whatever that I wanted. My DM was full on daily basis from men from every corner of the world who were willing to pay any price just to have me in their arms. From the beginning, I didn't pay attention to them because my main reason for going for the BBL was to feel confident and to love myself and my body, so that my friends and family would stop teasing me. But these men wouldn't just stop calling me and sending me messages in my DMs. So I decided to see how far I could go with this new phase of my life. Then one day, I woke up to see a message in my DM from a very popular politician in our country who promised to give me $1,000 just to have a night with him after ignoring him for weeks. What? $1,000 just for a night? That was unbelievable, I said to myself. I thought it was a joke, so I replied telling him that I wasn't ready for any jokes. So if he meant what he was saying, then he should send me the money before I go and see him. And surprisingly, he asked of my number and my bank details. Then bam, a few minutes later, $1,000 was smiling comfortably in my account. What? That's crazy, I said to myself. And that was how this new BBL body got me a new life entirely. I went to see this politician and later he became my regular client. As when he needed me, I just had to obey to his call. Later on, other men followed suit, and after a year of doing my BBL, I got an expensive, flashy apartment in one of the most expensive parts of the country. I got a new car and my life was really taking a very good shape. I later went international when other men from other parts of the world would pay my flight ticket to meet them and have fun with them just because of my new banky BBL body. Just 2 years after having my BBL done, I traveled to America, UK, other parts of Europe, and even other parts of Africa. And the list goes on and on and on just to meet men for fun. I wouldn't even lie. My life had completely changed, and now I have 2 houses and 3 cars at the age of 26. But there's a very big problem now. 2 years ago, I went to the market to buy some groceries and I suddenly collapsed in the market. And when I woke up, I found myself in the hospital. Some good Samaritans rushed me to the hospital. What happened? I do not know. The only explanation the doctor gave me was that it could be due to stress, so I needed to rest. Then, after that incident, it has been one problem or another. Then a few days after collapsing in the market, I started seeing funny discharges from my private part area and I thought it was candidiasis. So I went to see a doctor and he prescribed some drugs for me. But the more I took the medication, the more the discharges became worse. Then I realized that this time around, the discharges were also coming from my buttocks area. Then I also had small open blisters all over my buttocks and some creamy and yellowish fluid was coming out of them. I heard about this very good doctor, so I went to see him, and that was when my life took a totally different turn altogether. After a close examination by this doctor, he revealed that my BBL was not properly done and he suspected that during the surgery, a lot of things might have gone wrong which the doctor didn't tell me. The doctor also mentioned that the fluid that I'm experiencing from my private area could be due to soft tissue infection or it could be necrotizing fasciitis, which could be extremely dangerous. And he went on to mention other very big medical terms that I cannot even mention right now. But he advised that I travel to the USA as soon as possible in order to see an experienced doctor to have my body properly examined. He then went on to ask me about the name of this doctor who did my BBL. And when I mentioned the doctor's name, his facial expression immediately changed. And then I realized something was not right. But of course, he was reluctant to open up to me. But I assured him that it was my body, so if there was something that I needed to know, he should open up entirely to me and tell me so that I could take the necessary remedy or could solve the problem the best way that I could. Then he sat me down and gave me a lengthy lecture about women from all over the world who went to that particular doctor and had their bodies badly damaged during their BBL procedures. And some of these women unfortunately lost their lives later on. So I asked him about the way forward. And he then told me that the best way to salvage the situation was to travel to the USA to see a very good surgeon that he recommended in order to extract all the fluid from my buttocks and to correct other things that might have gone wrong during my surgery. So when I left the doctor's office and went home, I decided to read more about the doctor who did my surgery, and I got the shock of my life. The reviews about him and his works were really horrible. Oh my God. Why didn't I see this before? Well, of course, I didn't see it because I was so desperate to have my buttocks done, so how would I have seen it? Whether this doctor was indeed qualified to have my surgery done properly or not. Well, I later flew to the USA and had about 80% of my fluid in my body extracted, and the doctor explained that was the best they could do for me. He also explained that the first doctor who did my BBL didn't do it well, and I just had to manage to live with that the rest of my life. And interestingly, he also mentioned that if I believe in God, I should pray to God to save me and to take care of me. And that was when I realized that my situation could be really serious and it could take my life. But of course, the doctor didn't want to scare me, so he didn't say it all, or he didn't say the way it would scare me. After I returned to my country, I realized that the discharge had completely stopped after following the directives of the doctor from the USA. Unfortunately, the drugs that I was taking had finished, and so I resorted to taking local medicine since someone suggested that it could also help me. Fortunately, the local medicine or the local herbs that I was taking was quite effective, and I was really relieved because the drugs from the USA were very, very expensive. Unfortunately, early this year, I realized that there are discharges coming from both my V and my buttocks hole area. As the days grow into weeks and the weeks into months, I realized that the discharges have started coming from both my V and my buttocks hole again. And the smell accompanied by these discharges is so bad and so horrible that I cannot even stand it myself. So I went back to the hospital and now I am put on new medications altogether. But the discharges wouldn't just stop. I now wear adult diapers to soak the discharge, and as if that is not enough, anytime that I go out, I have to wear as many as 2, sometimes even 3 adult diapers in order to make sure that I don't go about smelling like rotten eggs. I am currently in so much pain and I feel really, really sad. My body is rotting away gradually and it is smelling really bad as well. My legs and my face are also swollen and I have collapsed about 3 times last month alone. My stomach is also bloated and I experience severe headache every now and then. And sometimes I cannot sleep for days. I have literally abused painkillers so much that they are no longer effective when I take them. I mostly also throw up now anytime I take any spicy food. So I mostly resort to taking mostly liquid, sugary food now. I cannot stand for a very long time, and mostly I feel dizzy when I stand for a very long time. I also realize that my eyes are not able to see clearly like they used to. 2 weeks ago, I started seeing some skin rashes on my body, which are really itchy and so uncomfortable. It feels like my entire body is failing before my very eyes. I very much doubted if the doctor used just the fat extracted from my body for my BBL, or perhaps he used some other dangerous substances because I do not understand why I have so much complications after my BBL. I am slowly and gradually dying each day, but there's very little that I can do about my situation now. I have terribly regretted my BBL and I wish I had not done it at all. But of course, it is too late now. I know I'm not the best person to advise any woman or anybody out there whether to do their bodies or not to do it. Of course, it is your body. So by all means, do whatever you choose to do with it. The only advice perhaps I can give to any woman who wants to do their body is to do a thorough research on a doctor who is going to be doing their procedures. There is plenty information out there about BBL procedures and which doctors are best in this field. If a doctor and a hospital are offering cheap services, please run. It could be a huge red flag because cheap medical procedures can later on cost you your expensive life. Then please do well to read reviews about the doctor who is going to perform the surgery on your body, whether the surgery is for medical reason or for beautification. Please, if you cannot find any reviews on the doctor on the internet about his previous works, please run. It could be another red flag. This could mean that the doctor and the hospital might have deleted the horrible reviews about them, and that is why you cannot find any reviews about them on the internet. Then, you must also remember that even if the doctor is qualified and has done very successful surgeries or BBL surgeries in the past, sometimes things could go wrong and it might not be the doctor's fault. Then finally, as a woman, you need to thoroughly do medical examination on your body to know whether your body and your medical history before you decide on what to do to your body. For example, if you are diabetic, please be careful about enhancing your body because it could be very dangerous, unless of course it is recommended by a qualified medical doctor and it is for medical reasons and not for aesthetics. Sadly, looking at my situation right now, I know anything at all could happen to me at any time now. And that is why I want to share my story with the world, hoping that at least it could save the life of one woman out there who is planning on doing a BBL as well. My dear ladies, please do take care of yourselves and be safe out there. And please say a word of prayer for me if you can, because I am going through so much pain and I'm going through so much right now. And now our word for this story is contrition. Contrition means feeling very sorry or having a guilty feeling about something bad that you have done. Guys, what do you make of this story? And if you wish to tell this young lady something, what will it be? Well, all I can say is that the kind of words we use towards people can go a long way to either make them or harm them. This young lady went to do BBL because of the constant teasing and bullying that she got from her family members and her friends. Family members and friends who were supposed to be there for her rather broke her, and that pushed her to take this gory path that almost took her life or is about to take her life now. So let us all be guided by our ways. Today it is her. Tomorrow it could be your child who is being teased or bullied at school for a body part that he or she is not proud of or something that he or she is insecure about. Guys, please do well to subscribe to the channel and please do well to watch my other videos as well. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. It's bye.